And we are live. What is up, everybody? Aaron the puppy with a lowercase p here for this week's card. Nicolau and Perez in the main event. Alex Perez. Yep, that Alex Perez. Uh, with me for the apex of the apex cards. UFC, I think 91. It's also called whatever it is. It's like almost 100th apex card. Almost 100th card with 2 cents. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you as always for having me. It is a treat to be here, per usual. And yeah, you said it, man. Apex of the apex. This is the zenith of mixed martial arts. And what a fucking card, man. I'm super excited to talk about it with you and everyone else.
Yeah. Basically, what Mick says here. If this isn't a coin flip of a card, I don't know what is. I don't usually tell people not to. I don't know why I'm going white either. I'm not really sure what's going on. No, I know I turned it off. I was trying to clean it. Did that help? Okay, maybe that's a little better. Either way, yeah, no problem, Justin. You're welcome. Yeah, this card, it's a lot of close fights. A lot of fights where, I think we're going to be pretty candid on our picks and everything. I think the coin will come out quite a bit tonight. Not to put pressure on you. And, we'll just see. The Zhongli this week, if you're tail with caution. That's all I got to say. Because it was a struggle to put together, and it might still change tonight depending on what's said. So let's go ahead and get started at 155. Machado taking on Gabriel Benitez here. Decent fight, should be good action, at least, I would think. Machado pretty much purely a boxer at this point and doesn't really show much else. Gabriel Benitez lost 3 of his last 4, only win coming against Charlie Ontiveros. Justin James, his other win in his last 5. So he's tough. He's got good leg kicks. I think leg kicks are definitely a way to deal with Machado, keep him at the distance. It wouldn't surprise me if Gabriel Benitez ends up doing that and getting the finish himself. I feel like somebody's getting finished in this fight not going the distance probably, but I don't really have a play either way. I'll take Benitez at the plus 170, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. Machado just hasn't shown me a whole lot. I'm not really too impressed. He got absolutely beat down by Borisov in the last fight, and the fight before that against Hoffa showed that if you just kind of force the grappling, you could really have some problems. Also, leg kicks have been a problem for Machado as well. And Gabriel, I think, could push the wrestling of the two of these guys if someone does, which would be awful. But either way, I'm going to go with Gabriel Benitez here. I guess he gets the finish by TKO, but no confidence, no bet from me.
I wouldn't say this is my most confident pick or bet, but I am definitely on the other side. I get not being super confident in Machado, and I like Benitez skill for skill. Benitez is the better fighter. He's the better grappler. He probably the more well-rounded striker. He does hit hard. He hurt Sadiq Youssef. He's knocked dudes out before. He definitely has pop in his punches, and Machado has been put out cold. But Gabriel Benitez has been put out cold more than a few times, and if there's one thing that Machado does, it's hit pretty fucking hard. The win over Steve Garcia, basically just fucking one-punching Steve Garcia, is not aging the worst. And I just think it's at this point in Benitez's career, I think he's just an older, chinnier dude, and I think Machado is just going to fucking one-punch him into the shadow realm. But yeah, I'm just following my trend of just missing the line like crazy. I parlayed Machado last Monday, actually, a couple hours before I went live. Mm-hmm. And of course the line is totally better now. I should have waited, but me missing the line historically is not the worst thing in the world as far as being on the right side. So yeah, give me Machado, and I my dumbass parlayed him at minus 245. You can get him for much better than that now. But yeah, give me Hayasar to get a brutal KO here.
Yeah. I parlayed Machado, says everything you need to know about this card. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, no, I'm
kind of hard.
Yeah, I respect the confidence there. I'm nowhere near as confident on my side. I just going with the guy who's had the better level of competition and I think has the wider range of skills as well at this point. But I get Benitez being washed as being a stuntman coming into here. Minus 198 on Machate, plus 165 on the Mexican Benitez here. Should be an interesting way to start the fight. Next, get the fucking coin out. Ivana Petrovic taking on Ling, whatever you want to call her. You're probably going to call her a former UFC fighter by Sunday morning. You know, the whole car is this car fight included. Yes, I know that the fucking line is out of control. I don't want anything to do with this fucking car fight or card. It's Freudian slip, but let's be honest. Minus 470 on Ivana, never playing it. Obviously, the under is set at under 1.5, so it's plus 105. I mean, can I trust Ivana to come out with any sort of killer instinct at under 1.5? It's kind of risky. Not really interested. Plus 360 on Ning. I get it. I get people playing Ling, but she's never seen a punch she doesn't like, and she goes down usually pretty quickly. But Ivana, not exactly blowing the doors off in her debut there, coming up short against Luana Carolina, but I think she did, advance a lot from there 9 months ago. So I guess I'll just, if I was going to play something like Mick's saying, playing the under 1.5, sure, someone can just die, but I'd rather just save my bucks and play them on some Korean baseball in the morning. Yeah, I'll take Ivana Petrovic by the square KO.
Boys, this fight here, Aaron alluded to it, this has all the makings of a coin fight. It is low level. It is I can't really decide sort of like on paper looking at this fight at first, but dude, you said it too. The line is out of control, so I'm sorry. The coin is not getting flipped here. The bet and the pick is Na Liang. If you look at all her fights, she comes out early and she gets takedowns. And if you look at a lot of her fights like pre-UFC, she'll come out hot and heavy and get that fucking submission. And I'm just not too sure that like Petrovic is really worth half a fuck herself, dude. Like, who the fuck has she beaten? Like, nobody.
No,
the answer is fucking.
I'm not betting shit, dude. I'm just picking the fight.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, like, I'm just asking, like, who the fuck is she beating? Like, I mean, that's a rhetorical question. Like, that's not coming at you. I'm just like, who is she beating?
No. She beat Elowina Wozinski. She beat Alexander
Wozinski.
She beat Mike Wazowski. She beat Dorito Nareka.
So she beat a handful of nobody Polacks and some other nobodies that are 0-0. Cool. Yeah, give me the plus 350. I bet her at plus 350. I only got a half unit on it. I'm not going crazy on Na Liang. Like, she'll probably get fucking finished, but like, I don't know, man. Like, Petrovic went to split decision with some chick that's 6-7. So yeah, like, I think you can make a case that even JJ Aldrich might be a better fighter than this bitch, who's completely unproven. And yeah, you know what? Y'all want to talk stat dork shit? Fucking Petrovic gave Luana Carolina her first takedown in the fucking UFC. And I think that Na Liang's going to get takedowns and she's going to armbar this fucking overrated hype job. Give me Na Liang plus 350. Now plus 410.
I love it. Give me a big old pass, but enjoy everybody on the ride. I see at plus 360 on DraftKings, minus 470 for Petrovic. The under 1.5 at plus 105 currently. Yeah, I'm just no, thank you. No, thank you.
A smart man passes for sure.
Yep. All right, next fight we got. It's taco time. We got the short notice debut of Taco Padilla, Chris Padilla, taking on James Yantop. This is going to be a kind of sad fight, just because, honestly, Taco Padilla, props to him. He's taking this fight on short notice. He's very, very tough. He's definitely had some ups and downs throughout his career. I'm actually going to pull up his page because he's been around for a minute. He's only 28 still, but 5'9". Definitely a well-rounded fighter. He's tough. He's fought over in Bellator one time. He did lose over there. Lost to Gabe Green by submission. Fought Nate Andrews. Fought a lot of good fighters. Lost to all of them. That's the issue here. Like, he's just not really beat the level you need to beat to really prove to me you should be here. So his last 3 fights, his best win being probably, I guess, Justin James in his last fight, but not really impressive. Wasn't able to find a lot of his latest fight footage either. He did have a fight coming up with Chris Gonzalez that I think he probably would have lost. So he's taking the short notice fight here. James, I really liked how he looked on the Contender Series, but it was against Malik Lewis. This is about the same level of opponent. Honestly, I think James by sub could be a decent play, just because I think everybody's expecting him to just beat him down and get the KO. And if there's a spot where I think James could show off his subs, it is against a guy like Taco Padilla, who could put himself in the position himself. So I haven't gotten there yet, but honestly, James is going to either beat him down and submit him, or beat him down and get a submission because he can. So either way, I like James in this spot pretty handily.
So I vaguely remembered Yantop from Contender Series, but I actually had to take both of these dudes. I didn't know that Chris Padilla existed. I did not know of his existence before this. So I did the tape study, and he's not a bad fighter. Like, he's pretty well-rounded. He throws hard. He's got a big old looping overhand, and he's a pretty good wrestler. Like, he's aggressive, and he will chain takedowns together, and he's a pretty good wrestler. But I think Yantop is more well-rounded. He's got a pretty good body lock trip himself, and he's not too bad when he gets on top. So I just think Yantop is going to be the crispier, more accurate striker. He puts his combos together better, and I think he probably either just tunes him up for a few rounds or just breaks him against the fence. So give me Yantop probably by second or third round stoppage, but it wouldn't totally surprise me if Padilla just ratted his way to a split or something, but I kind of see that. I think he's going to have to wrestle super heavy to get this done. I don't see him just hauling off and chinning Yantop. I think James is pretty tough, and think he's a considerably better striker. So yeah, give me Yantop.
Yeah, I think he's somewhere in the minus 350 range. So not going to be looking to play him here at all. So just too many unknowns, but and the line's not available currently, so he won't be on the Zhongli tonight. Next fight, I gotta figure the fucking coin's coming out for Caitlin Souza and Marnik Mann, right? I mean, this is about as low as the level gets here. Caitlin Souza coming off a pretty bad injury herself, and before that got submitted by Silva. She was champion over an Invicta, but really didn't beat that high level of competition over there. But it's what it is. It's got some good boxing. She's decent with the jiu-jitsu. Mark McMahon, just in time here. Look at who's making it onto the show for the main event, the people's main event, the people's people, from the desk of Luvetia, FedEx Pope. You made it just in time for Marnik Man and Caitlin Souza. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I've obviously fantastic. Can I just pick Niang round one and we move on here?
I mean, if you're picking Niang, it's got to be round one because otherwise your chin will explode by round two.
I already stole your thunder with that one. It's going to be
fair.
round one armbar.
Awesome. I am picking
Round one.
Ketlin. I'm picking Ketlin Souza. I'm not breaking this down because I never had my cigarette between shows. So I'm going to do that right now and stay on mic. But I'm picking Ketlin Souza because Marnik Man is the worst fighter on the roster, not named Caio Machado.
Shannon Ross in the chat, just to let you know.
Well, he's not in the roster anymore, is he?
Caio Machado fights on this card.
Right? No, I meant Shannon. No.
Oh, you did. You say on roster.
Who said Shannon Ross, and I said Shannon Ross isn't on the roster anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. I also have Caitlin Souza here just because she knows how to fight, and that's important in fighting. Marnik Man's not good. 2 cents.
I mean, there's being fashionably late and making an entrance, and then there's this fucking guy. I mean, the man, the myth, the legend himself with an awesome hat, and now it's gone. I can't even fucking see it now. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, shout out to Lou. Y'all smash the like button for Aaron. Definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, I can't even fucking bury the lead, dude, and I can't fucking decide, and it's low level, and I just barely don't give a fuck. So you know what? It is time. It is time, boys. This fight.
Please be Marnik Man. Please be Marnik Man.
So before when I was thinking about this fight, and until I swear to God, until this like Monday, I was like, oh, dude, like Ketlin Vieira's like way. I thought that she was Ketlin Vieira, so I was like, dude, she's way bigger than Marnik. She's like, this is kind of a mismatch. So no, dude. So yeah, Ketlin Souza. So I had When I realized that it wasn't, when my fucking dumbass realized it wasn't Ketlin Vieira, who struggles to make 35. Yeah. So when I realized it was Ketlin Souza, yeah, you know what time it is. It's coin flip time.
Oh yeah. And by the way, at this point, what is the coin? Like 3-1?
It is. I feel like it's been 3-1 recently for sure. Maybe even more than that.
Yeah, we'll say
the only hiccup was a dude fight, and it doesn't get used for that anymore. So it's almost
so it's undefeated. So it is undefeated in women fights. I do not believe in jinxes for the coin either. So go ahead, assign who gets what here, and let's put on the line here. If it comes up man and hits man, I am auto betting the coin from here on out.
So this and that's the thing I want everybody to know is like this is just a pick for me, and I don't bet it. So like I'm not trying to like bend the coin to my will and like, oh dude, I just wait for the coin and I fucking hammer at max bet. No, I just like this is just a pick for me. So I will say who has more UFC fights?
Isn't it Marnik Man?
Should be Marnik.
No, they both have one.
Who's the favorite? Souza?
I mean, Souza's the massive favorite.
Okay, so she'll be heads. Man will be tails. The coin will speak, boys. And the pick is Ketlin Souza.
Oh, that's a little bit anticlimactic.
I know. I know because it should be.
But this just proves the coin knows. I think
we'll see. The coin said Souza, so and I gave it a good flip. See. That was actually a pretty good flip. Some of them are kind of like bitch made. It's like 2 spins, but that was a nice good flip. So we'll see.
More than 2 spins from 2 cents there, and the coin going chalk at minus 345. The under 2.5 in this fight is plus 200. I think that might be where we have to go.
I don't think Marnik Man is a bad underdog bet at all. A smart man passes here, but like I don't think that like she's quite as bad as I remember or as people are trying to make her out to be. Like, yeah, she got fucking destroyed by Bruna Brazil, who's kind of a fraud. So that's not a great look. But Her other loss is whatever. So, yeah, I don't think it's the worst play, but yeah, it's just going to be a pick for me.
And the coin being accused of selling out now, having a bet MMA tips, Patreon now picking massive favorites.
I'm taking your wrench for blowing up my fucking spot like that, Noah. So, I hope it was worth it.
Well, all right. And then Brian, will you be putting your name in the hat for Mecca 12? No.
It be the ones closest to you that sell you right down the river and just blow up your fucking new Patreon before you can even announce it yourself.
Yeah. And then Steve Gregory, Lou, sorry for having great Teats shirts available. Arrived by FedEx by then. And then.
Can I just say how much I like that whenever you put a comment up, all you see is the FedEx hat?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You're in the comment corner. And then what about Wizard desk? The desk of Lou. What about him? At this point, we've talked too much about Caitlin Souza and Marnik, man. Let's turn up the quality here, please. We have Dantel Mays. We have Kyle Machado. Dantel Mays with my favorite Tapology picture in all of Tapology. Can we just end this one? Both of them are really good. This one from 1994 at Gold's Gym. We got the quality tattoo work there. Also, Dantel May is only 32 years old, guys, entering his prime. And Kyle Machado, how old do you think Kyle Machado is? Yeah, he's in his 20s.
73 or 19.
He's 29 years old here.
He's 33 if a fucking day.
Yeah, and he got absolutely kind of outclassed by Nick Parkin. This is just not a good fight at all. Dantel Mays, for some reason, was the underdog, and it's probably because he's Dantel Mays, I understand. I'm not betting the fight. I'm just saying I feel like Dantel Mays has faced such a higher level of competition. He has lost to Nascimento twice, while Kyle Machado's never even faced Nascimento, so there's that. But I just got to go with Dantel Mays here, and it's probably going to just be a horrible 15-minute slop fest. 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm on the Mays side too. Why would you bet Mays as an underdog when you could just do what I did and parlay him last Monday for chalk? Like, why wouldn't you just do that? But no, I'm on Mays here. I went back and watched that Mick Parkin fight. Dude, Machado looked really fucking bad in that third round. He was like just eating punches for breakfast. I think that Mays hits harder than Mick Parkin, and I just think he's a better boxer too. Like, I think he's gonna tune Machado up, and he might knock him out, man. Like, I don't know. I think Machado is still like very largely unproven, and that loss to Parkin just doesn't like sit that well with me. And I know Mays' record looks terrible on paper, but it is to a considerably higher level of competition. Well, not the whole thing, but he doesn't have any crazy good wins. But I don't know if Machado is crazy fucking good. I think he's just like a younger Brazilian heavyweight that they're just trying to like jam in the roster, and I think Mays is going to just fucking jam him in the face with some boxing, and maybe he knocks him out or just decision. But yeah, give me Mays at chalk. Awesome.
God, do you remember Hamdi Aswad? Everybody in the chat's bringing him up.
That was a fucking robbery, dude. Can I say that? Like, that was fucking bullshit. You go back and watch that fight. Dantel Mays absolutely did the fucking damage in the second and third round. Almost got him up out of there. Like, that was a fucking jobbery, dude. And then the fucking dude pops hot. So yeah, that was bullshit. Fuck Hamdi. That was this one will be justice for Dantel.
Yeah. No, I don't think he should be the underdog. Like, I'm not trying to blow it up at all. And at this point, obviously, it's become basically a pick'em. But I don't know how Kyle Machado is favored over anybody in the UFC, and Lou will defend that now.
I must mention that because the book had the wrong price, I had plus 12,000 on Mays round 3 sub against Hamdi, and he looked totally out of juice. But I'm like, okay, he's in the third round. I have a chance. And then, no. How long have I been doing the show at you two? Over a year?
something. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. It's two horrible fighters. It's two horrible heavyweights. It's Southpaw versus Orthodox. It checks all the boxes for a Yam Bag special. Have to be this fight, right?
Oh,
I think this fight goes the distance at a super high. The over is juiced. Mays doesn't really have any finishing equity. Machado has no equity. He's awful. Machado got steamed early. I don't know why, but the buyback's starting to come in on Mays because I think people were like, fuck, I bet on Kyle Machado. Like, maybe they confused him with somebody else. Maybe they thought, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they looked at him and like, let me please hammer the Machado line. But I'll pick Mays simply because, like, Machado has shown that he, like, just can't get up. I don't think he has willingness to get up. I don't think he has the cardio to keep getting up. So Mays could go for a takedown. And if he doesn't, I still think Mays probably throws more on the feet. And he wins, like, the worst striking match ever. But, yeah, I will never be betting this. Sorry.
Well, Dantel might be in the Zhongli this week because beggars can't be choosers. Let's be honest. Yeah, we don't count that as betting according to Lou. Next,
what do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't count as betting?
I'm just kidding. No, I just always tease you. I always feel like you look down at the Zhongli. But
I don't look down at winning bets, dude. I don't look down at bets that are hitting. Like, no, if you're doing like 5 minus,
it's basically just like, what have you done for me lately? So, you know.
No, I look down at, like, if you parlayed like bone nickel and like 4 minus 700s. Yes, I look down at that kind of. That's not a bet that I.
I'm just kidding.
What do you think your average John Lee pays? Like plus 1,200, plus 1,500?
Yeah, I'd say plus 1,300 or more.
Yeah, usually. That's a great bet. That's a great bet. If it paid plus 180, I'm like, stop it. Like, that's not a bet.
I would never do that to the people.
Right.
Even money on Dantel, minus 120 on Machado. So these Machado people are out there. So watch out. Good for you if you got Machado in this fight. Next fight. This is a really good Dana White Contender Series fight that has been put onto a UFC Apex card for some reason. I do like Figalak, but kind of froze up badly against Ziem in that first fight. I do think jitters did play a factor, but overall, I think that wrestling could be an issue for Figalak throughout his UFC career. Austin Thud Hubbard, no doubt, can wrestle, and he is a pretty tough individual himself as well. Typically, if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to kind of beat on him and kind of withstand, have good cardio, things like that. And I do think Figalak, has shown he can kind of put together that kind of game plan, not against the level of Austin Hubbard up to this point, and that's what I'm kind of concerned about because I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out. So I do worry that maybe he has some success early, and then Hubbard, kind of withstands an early barrage, maybe a bad first round, and ends up taking it as the fight goes on. But I do think Figalak's a much more talented side, but I am concerned about the Euro trash a little bit, to be honest, if the wrestling becomes a factor for Hubbard. But I am going to go with Figalak in this one by decision. I'm not super, super confident once again, and I do think if someone is going to get a finish of these two, it is Figalak by KO. Lou.
Yeah, I went back and forth this one because first, we don't know that Hubbard's really going to be a proactive grappler. Like, I don't think he's going for 6-7 takedowns. He also is not like super high fight IQ. The big thing about Hubbard is the leg kicks. I think Figalak's probably going to be ready for that. Like, I almost think we're just getting a great price on Figalak because of the Ziem fight. He took plenty of time off. He was fighting on the road, in hostile territory. Look, I don't love Figalak or anything. He's definitely way better than he showed. I got to think he's been spending his time working on his takedown defense. And that's the thing about Hubbard is not some like elite grappler. Like his entries are bad. His top control is not like horrible, but he's not like some, work for takedowns, get him against the cage, like work a single. Like he doesn't, if he gets a takedown, it's like a blast double from 17 feet away. Basically like an Irish whip. And he just ends up landing a takedown. And I think Figlak will be able to see that. I think Figlak's going to be able to check a lot of the leg kicks. So I don't see a finish here. I think Figlak decision is probably the way to go, but you're not even getting a really good price on that. So I'm going to pick Figlak. I'm going to wait to see where this line goes. Because right now, I don't love Figlak at minus 170, but if there's some buyback on Hubbard and he comes back to like 140, 150 range, at least maybe I'll consider it, but probably going to lay off this one.
Yeah, no, fair enough. 2 cents.
God,
are you on the Figgy side?
Can this fight just please fall away? This is the one that there's always at least one that I'm hoping, like, just cancel this motherfucker. It's this one, dude.
Every
please,
week.
God damn, please just let this if the MMA gods exist, just banish this fight from existence. But nah, man, I really don't like that we're all on Figlak here. I was hoping that someone was going to pick Hubbard just so I don't. I'm not playing it. It's just a total pass. Figlak is largely inexperienced at a UFC, if you will, level. But the problem with Hubbard is that he's been around for a while, but god damn is he a jobber. Like, I think you can make a case that Figlak might be the best striker that he's fought, certainly in some time. Like, look at the guys fighting in the UFC, dude. Davi Hamos, grappler, Kyle Prepelek, jabroni, Mark Madsen, wrestler, Rajkop, fraudulent wrestler, Selecki, grappler, Harry Bush, From Hell, Pichel. Like, it's just a slew.
You're not wrong.
It's a slew of jabronis with mixed results. Like, he got like a split dodgy robbery over Roosevelt. Like, dude, Holloway, like, he's Holloway's only win in the fucking UFC. Like, I can't pick Hubbard, man. Like, I would never bet Figlak, but Hubbard's just too much of a jobber, man. Like, fuck this fight. Give me Figlak. Who cares?
I just became a lot more confident in Figlak through this breakdown, frankly. And yes, he is on the Zhang Wei minus 175 right now, plus 145 to Mr. Hubbard.
Are you more confident in him because you think that Hubbard sucks?
I'm just more confident, really, because I think that who Hubbard beats is terrible, and Figlak is somebody coming into UFC I was quite confident in. I'm not ready to completely throw overboard as an untalented fighter.
I'm not super confident in Figlak, but I am picking him because I think Hubbard is.
Do you remember Harry Bush?
That's the only thing. That's the only reason I remember him. It's his fucking nickname.
And then they made him change it. Like his second. Who was his second fight against? Was it Slava Claus or?
Yeah, when he just fucking they made him the sacrificial lamb. Slava just fucking brutalized him. Get back.
Where does Dakota Bush fight, or where does this guy fight now? Hold on. Dakota Bush win by decision. What was the line on this fight? Minus 210 to Hubbard. And are we hammering that? Is that in the Zhang Wei? But all right, Harry Bush. Let's see, where's he at now? Dude, he's about to be back on the Contender Series. Look at this 4-fight win streak. Beating the likes of Ivy Nixon, beat Jordan Griffin by decision in Iowa.
Oh my god.
Dude, and then his next fight after beating a former UFC fighter was to beat Jeremiah Scott. But being Josh Streaker, that's a good win.
You know who the best fighter from Iowa is ever? AC Slater.
Yeah, hell of a wrestler. And had the discipline to go along with it. All right. Anyways, spent enough time breaking down Dakota Bush. We got to get back to a high quality fight. Hony, Yaya, Victor Henry. Gross. Victor Henry is now what? Minus 425 plus 330 to Ronnie Yaya. I don't know. I mean, Victor Henry went to the death with Tony Gravely in a split decision. And then he got his dick kicked off by Javid Basharat. So there's that. Lost to Montel Jackson badly for Ronnie Yaya, and then he's beaten the likes of Quaho Kim, Ray Rodriguez. Like, yeah, this is terrible. I hope it gets over before the end of it. I'll take Victor Henry to knock him out at some point early because he's made of wood. Lou.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, unless Yaya is now on all the steroids because USADA doesn't exist.
She could be.
I mean, the only way the in the distance doesn't hit is like Yaya just lays on the ground and Henry's content to just kick his legs. I mean, Yaya decision, is just him backpacking Henry for 15 minutes. I just don't see Henry getting in these positions. But I think this could just be Henry telling the ref, like, stand them up, like, over and over and over again. So, I mean, keep in mind also with the way the judging is going, if Yaya does get 3 minutes of control and does nothing, he's going to lose those rounds. So, I think the line's, it's not bettable money line, but I don't know. I don't know why this fight exists, to be honest. Like,
yeah, this is a horrible fight. This is a affront to MMA as a whole. 2 cents. Speaking of an affront,
how dare you, sir? I resemble that remark. So yeah, it seems like it's just a Henry setup spot, right? Like, I don't imagine they're trying to get fucking.
Why are we setting up Victor Henry?
Yeah, but why are we setting? Were you possibly setting up 39-year-old Ronnie Yaya? Like, what? I mean,
I feel like this is like one of the few guys he could maybe beat. And I don't know.
He could, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't take a free bet on this. The pick is Henry, but yeah, I could see him getting choked if he does something stupid. Like, but I see that being really the only path for Yaya. I don't see him winning a decision over Henry just because I think Victor will have the more telling strikes, unless it's totally, like Yaya backpacking him, which is why I wouldn't touch it. But yeah, give me Henry by something. He'll probably fuck around and it'll be like Henry by greasy split or something, but he might knock him out. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, what a fight. Let's just move on to the next one because I think the next fight is a much better, more entertaining, and probably I would say one of my fights of the night, honestly. So it does make sense that they're starting the main card with this, which I don't often say with the UFC. So good on them. Tim Means, Uros Medic at 170. I think this is just going to be a really fun fight. Tim Means is 40 now. He's a man. He looks very big at 170 at this point. Like, that's what against Fiallo, lightweight coming up to welterweight. Uros Medic, a lightweight coming up to welterweight. I think that Tim Means could be the much bigger, more well-rounded, and people are like, oh, Tim Means is dusted or whatever. He's got a dusty chin, whatever they say. That he's been knocked out twice. He's faced a ridiculous level of competition. None of those fights have been terrible either. Unless Uros Medic comes out and puts him away in 3 minutes, congratulations. But I think Means has all the kind of tools to kind of make Medic look really bad before knocking him out or submitting him. But I think Means puts him away. USADA at 40 years old. And yeah, I like Means in this spot. I don't understand this line whatsoever. And I get that Uros Medic was preparing for a striker going into his last fight against Orlabi. So I don't really hold that against him, how he looked against Orlabi, and Orlabi's a god. But yeah, I've been trying to talk myself out of Means, but all week it just seems like Means is the side. Fernando Padilla is a training partner of Uros Medic, and Obviously, I think he can resemble Tim Means' style in a good way, and Cesarok is looking good. And Fernando has told me when his training partners are not looking good, so I do believe him. But I gotta go with Tim Means in the spot. 2 cents.
So Fernando said that he was not looking good. That he's no good.
He was looking good.
Oh, he was. Okay.
He was. Yeah.
Shout out to the real life Monkey D. Luffy. So yeah, I think that people are like, dude, Means is a very likable Barrage. Like, he's a chill dude. Seems like just a good, solid guy. He doesn't talk a ton of shit. Just a throwback, like, ass kicker. But I think people are kind of like overrating the Fialho win. Like, Fialho almost knocked his block off. And Andre's just really chinny. I don't think Euros is just gonna like fall off like that. If they're just trading, I think Euros is gonna knock him out, man. I know that Means has only been knocked out. Well, he's really only been knocked out once. The other one was like an injury, but dude, he gets buzzed a lot. He almost got knocked out by Fialho. Like, he gets clubbed and subbed quite a bit. Like, Holland clubbed and subbed him. So yeah, on paper, it's only really once, but hey, dude, if Nico Price can spark him out, I think Medic can. I think Euros is the much better striker. I think he's going to be a lot fucking faster. And yeah, the Dirty Bird, I mean, my age, you know what I'm saying? So Tim seems like a good dude. I do like rooting for him, but I got to pick the younger, in my opinion, better striker. But hey, it wouldn't be the first, I can't call him a greenhorn, but it wouldn't be the first like vet lesson that Means is put on. But I think Medic's going to be a little too much for him on the feet.
All right, fair enough. Lou, break the tie.
I'm actually going to not break the tie because I'm going to say this. If you like the Means side, scorecards only for Means is plus money. It's plus 110. Medic has never won a decision. And honestly, if this thing goes to decision, it's probably Means vet lessening him. And just kind of winning on the ground and just staying out of trouble. And Medic not having great cardio. His cardio looked good against Semmelsberger, so I think he can go 15 minutes here. But I got to think that Medic does put him away at some point. I think 2 cents kind of said it perfectly. I see in the chat, like, the sub on Means. I don't hate the sub here either, because every time Means gets hurt, like, I mean, that Holland fight, as soon as he got hurt, he's like, he literally just put his head and he's like, here. Like, I want you to choke me out so you don't knock me out, because I will tap immediately. So I kind of think Medic just within the first 2 rounds puts him away. I mean, Means at this point, it's diminishing returns, unfortunately. But I mean, skill for skill, if Medic just fucks around, I think Means could vet lessen him. But I just think Medic is round 2 sub is where I'm at here.
Yeah, no, I'd love to include Means on the Zhongli, but he's not on there. Plus 250 though, I'd love to put it on there and blow it up, but he's not on there. Minus 310 to Medic, plus 135 on the under 1.5 here. So,
dude, my respect for Means. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say, my respect for Means is keeping me from parlaying Medic, because originally, like, the parlay that I have Mahashate in, I was like, oh, dude, I'll start Medic in there, but like, nah, I'm gonna respect Means. Like, he is a vet coming off a good win, but yeah, pick's got to be Euros here.
You gotta have a parlay of some sort if you or a Patreon of some sort if you're gonna have a parlay with Mahashate and Euros Medic in it for like minus 155.
Well, Noah already spoiled my fucking rollout party, so I mean, yeah, I got a Patreon, fucking sign up. You know?
Why would you throw in Petrovic in there to make it even money?
Why not?
Petrovic, Mahashate, Euros Medic, the 2 cents parlay.
Why not just have a ball for Vegas 91?
Man, what a card. This is so depressing. We're almost done, guys. Don't worry. Like, this really, like, even talking about it now, it's almost made me less excited. It's not your guys' fault, but talking about these fights is
it's draining your enthusiasm for it.
I'm just like, I just looked at. I'm like, oh my god, there's still so many fights left to talk about, and they don't get better. They're just the same shit. Like, anyways, David Obama versus Jonathan Pierce here. Will it be Jonathan Pierce wrestling him the whole time and exhausting him before maybe choking him out, or will it be David Onama buzzing him and putting him away after he buzzes him and not blowing the finish opportunity and gassing himself out? I'm going to say David Onama's athleticism and power and striking gets the job done here against Jonathan Pierce, who I saw live against Joe Lozon in Boston, and that was Joe Lozon's last fight ever. And I can't ever forget Jonathan Pierce for that. And I don't call him JSP because he doesn't deserve to be called by his three letters. David Onama by knockout in the first round, please. Let's go with Lou.
I don't know if he gets there in the first round, but I do think I think it's funny. I'm on the Onama side with you. Onama's been training at altitude. He's only going to get better. His get-ups are pretty good. And I don't think Pierce, like, I think Pierce's takedowns are good, but his control's not good. I mean, C-Rod was getting out of everything. And, like, look, we now know that C-Rod is just, the guy's just good. He's crafty. He has got a lot of guile. But Pierce just really has problems controlling people. Even Elkins. Like, Elkins was getting out. I mean, Elkins was taking a beating with the fists. But I don't think that Pierce's wrestling is all that amazing. And I don't think Onama is going to really gas here. Like, this is the one thing he's been working on. And on the feet, it's one-way traffic here, man. Onama's super powerful. I think it happens maybe later, second, third round. We've seen Pierce. I mean, everybody just talks about his legendary cardio, but we saw him gas against C-Rod. Like, I do think that a lot of these grappling exchanges, when he's not getting it all his way and he's losing control and he has to fight to just maintain top control, I think it does tire him out a little bit. So I like Onama later. I don't know if I like him early like you do, but I do think Onama will get this thing done down the road here.
No, I don't think Onama has to get it done early necessarily. That was more of a jab at what he made Lozon look like in Boston.
I think being away from his former camp has been very, very good. Being away from Mr. James Krause.
Yeah, I mean, Onama is one of the few dogs on this card I've definitely like considered betting, honestly, and like feeling like I could actually trust. So,
like, let me ask you this before you pass the 2 cents.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very conceivable that Onama could be losing every minute of this fight until he isn't, right? Okay, and you're giving me a what, plus 150, and his KO's like plus 230, 240 range.
Yep.
Like, if you think that's his only path, and let's be honest, his win equity is 90% a finish. Even his in the distance is like plus 230, plus 240. So I think that's good odds for somebody that's going to be live at any point to get a KO here.
I like it, Lou. I agree.
He was even hurt. He was hurting Mason Jones in the third round. That was a short notice fight up a weight class.
Yep.
So
well said. All right, 2 cents. Hop in.
God damn it. This is like the Figlac one where I'm on Onama as well. I'm just going to make it 3 for 3, but it's sketching me out, dude, because
that's sketchy.
While I agree with pretty much fucking everything y'all said, he is the fucking public dog this week. I've seen so many fucking people on David Onama. Dude, TC loves some fucking David Onama, dude. I love betting this dude as a dog. Him over Santos was one of my like better plays last year.
Yeah, I was all over Santos there.
Dude, I agree with everything else said. And like what Lou was saying, he could be losing every second of this until he sparks him. And I'd give him a super fucking big edge on the feet. But like I think it depends on how Pierce approaches it, because I could see Onama getting the knockout in like the first minute and a half. If Pierce stands there and tries to be a fucking tough guy like he did against Brito, I mean, he's gonna get fucking starched. But like the reason I'm not gonna bet Onama is because I think if Pierce does win, it is going to be hanging on for fucking dear life, ankle diving. It is going to be the rattiest, scurrying wrestling rat like maze run you've ever fucking seen, and like it will piss me off so bad if it's like pierced by just greasy rat split. So I'm gonna pick Onama by knockout. Like Lou said, he could be he's just that kind of fighter, dude. That's like every David Onama fight, like even the ones that he's won. Like
if Onama lands 3 to 4 power shots in a round, and then Pierce has 3.5 minutes of top control, who wins the round?
I don't fucking know. I feel like it's too dodgy. Like it's just a crapshoot with the way the judging is. It's so inconsistent. But yeah, I'm gonna take Onama, pick him. Yeah, I think if damage is supposedly king, I think he's gonna do the damage here. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope it's not some fucking like Dan Ige, Bryce Mitchell shit or something. We'll see.
Yeah, it's plus 140, minus 170 to Pierce, and Onama is in the Zhongli. So we do have 3 fighters in the Zhongli right now. What I don't have is the last 2. What we have to figure it out is in the last 4 fights where we're fighting 2 fighters. So here we go. Next fight here at heavyweight. This is about at bottom of the barrel as it gets, but Janata Denise still has that new car smell on him as being a 6-0 UFC 6-0 fighter in MMA, beating the 23-year-old Eduardo Neves on the Contender Series fight where he got buzzed quite a bit. He was getting lit up with the jab himself, but he did come back and finish his opponent there by a meme KO. Austin Lane has been KO or TKO'd 4 times now, including by Justin Tafa in his last fight. I like everything that Austin Lane has been saying coming into this fight. He does sound like does like take his losses in stride and everything like that, which I think is good. He's very aware his opponent is the better striker, but he's aware this is an MMA fight. I do think that Austin Lane's going to have to attempt to make this kind of dirty, use his grappling if he is going to win this fight, which I know is gross. I don't think he will, though. I think he's going to trade and get knocked out. I was trying to find a way to get to Austin Lane because I'd love to play the Austin Lane sub really, really badly here because I feel like that could be a route he goes. But Denise by first round KO is where I ended up landing. So I'm going to listen to you guys plead your case for why he should be in the Zhongli because I know you don't care. 2 cents.
Yeah, so I already parlayed Denise. He is anchoring my 3-legger with Mahashate and Dantel Mays. Yeah, and it's those 2 and Denise. And yeah, like I said, I bet it last Monday. I bet it at plus 220. It is, you can now get that for like plus 338 or something. But I think, yeah, I'm sorry. A dude that fought Rico Verhoeven and Hesdy Gurgis, like, yeah, he got stopped by Hesdy Gurgis, and yeah, it's, he can get buzzed, but like Austin Lane is not a UFC fighter to me. I think it's being like, this is a setup, and I think he's going to pink slip Austin Lane. Like the dude, he can't take a punch, and this dude is like, fought at a world-class level in kickboxing. I think it's going to be a kickboxing match, and he's going to get sparked.
All right. Lou.
Round 1 KO for Denise here. There's 2 things Lane does that I hate. Keeps his hands really low, which works on the regionals against like unskilled guys where he's got a huge reach advantage. And he throws these naked kicks with no setup. Like that Tafa fight is the epitome of what he is. He just wound up from like 5 feet away and threw a kick at his head and then fell on the ground.
Yeah.
He's sloppy. Again, like his athleticism like can get him far in the regionals, and I get that because they're pulling guys out of the bar. It could have gotten him far in Bellator when they're like, "Hey, you're 1-9. Like we need a setup guy." Like those are guys he's fine against. He wouldn't have beat like Jake Hager.
He beat Daniel Jolly.
Yes, that's solid win in the Jolly Fight League, but not here. And Denise, man, like it's weird because. Years ago, you'd see these guys come in and they're like all first round finishes. And they look like tanks and you get excited. And now we see these guys, they go in the Contender Series and all people are thinking is like, can't wait to fade them. It's like, man, just enjoy that. Like maybe the guys, and he's not just 6-0, like MMA, like he's got a pretty good kickboxing career. He's gone the distance in a few of those fights too. So like cardio is not bad, but man, Lane is just here to die. And I don't see it really any other way. You brought up like the submission, and I get it because we haven't seen his takedown defense tested.
No.
But I don't think Lane's like some great wrestler. Like, and he can get just a knee right in the face as soon as he like, if he shoots a bad takedown, we'll see.
I mean, and it does look like Denise has a pretty low center of gravity. Looks like he's pretty tough to get down.
Well,
I think he might end up being decent, man. He might be all right. Like
I was gonna say, like he's Brazilian, right? I feel like every Brazilian, while there might be a lot of bullshit black belts, I feel like every Brazilian is like almost like a white belt with 3 stripes or something, like bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he might even be like have better jits than Lane just by virtue of being fucking Brazilian and being around more fucking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, see, this is where I just get nervous. I'm nervous at the confidence in Denise here, and I'm trying to enjoy the ride also. Minus 265 now, plus 215 to Austin Lane.
Ooh, I actually did beat the line on that one, so I think I got him at like minus 246 or something.
Yeah. So to be determined if he will be in the Zhongli, and Noah asking who the better grappler is, Lane or Hony.
I just don't think it's gonna matter. Like Lane just fucking, when does he fucking like try and grapple heavy? He always tries to brawl and gets chin check, and like this dude's a fucking I think he's gonna fucking destroy Lane. He is one of the worst fighters on the roster, honestly, and I'm surprised he's still on the fucking roster. I think he's on the way out with this one.
Yeah, I think this will be the last one if he loses here. Next fight, I'd say this is one of the Twitter fights of the week. I'm all of a sudden seeing Karina Silva taking on Ariane Lipsky, Queen of Violence, taking on Killer. Should be an interesting fight between two 30-year-olds. Lipsky, the younger 30-year-old, coming off of that absolute dismantling of Casey O'Neill in that fight, just beat her up and then took her down and submitted her. She looked really good in that fight and looked more like the fighter that we were kind of being promised before she came into the UFC. Definitely getting more confident. Had a split decision against Gatto in her fight 2 fights ago, though, so I don't get super confident yet in Lipsky, her other win being against JJ Aldridge, and then she has the loss to Cachoeira. Got knocked out in that fight. You're definitely going to see, Silva coming forward. She's very, very aggressive. I think the stand-up is going to favor Lipsky. The grappling, I think, is pretty 50-50 in this fight. I don't really know with this fight. I got Silva when she was the underdog. I felt she should have been favored. Now the line's kind of out of control for Silva. It would be a pass for me at this point, but I'll still take Silva here. I think someone gets finished, so I'll take Silva by submission. 2 cents.
Well, boys, I saw this fight get announced, and I was looking at the card rather than see it get announced. I looked at the card, and I said, okay, I don't really know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to do tape study. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm fucking not. I don't give a shit. I'm not fucking betting it. It is, like whatever. Lipsky is ranked. That's fucking crazy that Ariane Lipsky is a ranked fighter. Like it's 2024 and that's just the world we live in, boys. But I'll tell you what, the coin is making another appearance.
Oh my.
I'm going to the coin. The coin does work thus far on fights like this. It spoke on Verna Janjidoba or whatever. So we're going to see what it says on Karine Silva and Ariane Lipsky. Ariane Lipsky is going to be heads with the experience advantage, but Karine Silva will be tails. And for me, no bet here, but the coin will speak. Oh my God, I dropped it. Okay, here it is.
Oh my God.
Is heads. Lipsky. That's the pick.
And to break the tie, Lou, betcha.
So definitely like the under 2.5 here. So there's a couple of, if you're betting Korean Silva, you're assuming she gets a takedown and then the fight's over and that it's early. I feel like that's the win condition. I would agree that if she gets on top, that's probably the end of Lipsky. If she doesn't get it, and this is why I think if you like the Silva side and you got money on her, that's fine. Be prepared to pivot and do a live bet. This thing gets extended.
Yep.
You'll get Lipsky at a really good price after one. You'll probably get her in the 250, 300 range. If she takes a lot of damage, you might even get her at a bigger price. I think here's my issue that this comes down to, because you took Korean Silva submission.
Yes.
I'm taking Korean Silva by KO because I still think the one thing that Lipsky can't solve is that she's a little bit chinny and doesn't handle adversity well. In her winning streak, she's been front running. Aldrich couldn't do anything, and she just battered her. Casey O'Neill, who I'm like just not a fan of, didn't do anything. Just Lipsky steamrolled her.
Right.
Cachoeira, who's the worst, hit her once, and she was like, nope, don't like this. Fight's over. And I think that even on the feet, Karina Silva, who looks like an absolute tank now, and the striking's improving, could absolutely land a shot as they're exchanging. Hurt Lipsky bad. If she hurts her at all, you know Silva's diving for a takedown, and that probably does it. So I like Karina Silva. I don't like playing the round one props as much. Round one, round two with her was still like a pretty good. Actually, I have it up right now. Let me see what my book has. But I remember it being like, because I think if this thing gets out of the second round, no, I don't have it up yet, but it's probably going to be like plus 180, 190 range, I would think, with an under that's minus 145. So, no, Noah's saying she wasn't. I'm saying, I'm not saying when the fight started, she dealt with no adversity. Like she steamrolled opponents. Like JJ Aldrich didn't hit her. She was just diving for bad takedowns, and Lipsky was fending them off and landed literally every punch in that fight. That's what I mean. She hasn't had anybody like throw anything back at her since the Cachoeira fight, and that ended horribly. I think Karina Silva is enough of a physical specimen to throw things back at her. And if she doesn't like how it's going on the feet and just wants to get her against the cage, she's probably more physical. I don't want to say definitely, but she's probably more physical and might be able just to bully Lipsky.
Silva, as we're saying.
Yeah. JJ Aldrich isn't physically bullying anybody. I mean, like, Na Liang took her down 3 times. Only when she was death-gassed did Aldrich look like she was the stronger person. So that's it.
No,
this is not disrespect to Lipsky at all.
Well, the thing is, if it wasn't for like some of those earlier losses, dude, I think she's been looking way better lately. And I'm sorry, man. Like, we can criticize Casey O'Neill's like recent performances, but it's like her other loss was to Jennifer Maia, and like, I don't know, man. Like Karine Silva's level of competition, it's not good in the UFC. Even like Moreau, she's kind of a fucking jabroni too. And like, I think Lipsky's way more dangerous than fucking Marina on the feet. So I think if they're standing, it's striker versus grappler to me. Silva can get the TKO, but it'll be ground and pound. Like on the feet, I think Lipsky might fuck her up. So it's kind of a striker grappler to me. So that's why I needed the coin.
Somebody this week compared Karina Silva to Duplessis in the sense that like you're not sure how they just keep winning all these fights, but then they keep doing it. Eventually, you just stop.
It's because
you stop breaking down why, and you're like, "Yep, not getting in the way of this."
Well, hey, it's because her best win is fucking Marina Moroz, who's a jobber. So
Moroz is terrible. By the way, for that fight on this show and on like every show that week, I said, if you like Moroz, there's no reason to bet her pre-fight. You live better, and guess what? With 2 seconds left in the round, she loses.
Amen.
Like, you don't know how that fight would have gone in the second when they were back on their feet. So
absolutely. Yeah. Now, Twitter fight of the week, minus 140. Minus 140 now to Karine Silva, minus 148, plus 125 on the Lipsky side. It's gotten unbettable at this point.
It's just just a pass. Like it's
Yeah, but is possibly in the Zhongli because the other competitors. This is the first one. Ryan Spann and Bogdan Guskov. Yeah, what the fuck, man? This fight, awful. I today decided to rewatch Ryan Spann against Anthony Smith. I really wish I didn't do that because that was just a waste of about 24 minutes. Drama brings up the trilogy here between Ryan Spann and Anthony Smith / Bogdan Gustav. Bogdan, I mean, he got exposed by Ozdemir in that debut. Obviously, that looked really, really bad. Then he exposed Bahuga in the last fight. Bogdan, all of his wins are in like 3 minutes or less. If he gets out of the first round, we don't know what happens. He probably turns into a pumpkin, though. Ryan Spann finds ways to fuck up at all times. This is truly two Khamzats. Is that how you say it? Or how you pronounce this? Khamzats?
Whenever I read it on Twitter, in my head, all I hear is Khamzats. Like that.
Okay, that's
like I don't think that's a word you say normal. I think you have to yell
it. Yeah, like oh man. Either
shout out my guy Solar Warden.
Yeah, Solar Warden. What a gentleman of the game, truly.
Dude.
One of the best. One of the few who has the balls to follow me on Twitter. So good for Solar Warden. Give Solar Warden a follow on whichever account he's on now. But yeah, with this fight, Bogdan could knock him out, sure. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Spann could submit him, sure. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Spann could knock him out, sure. Wouldn't surprise me at all. This going to the decision would make me want to die, so it could probably happen too. Sure, why not? I can't get there on Bogdan, so I'm excited for all the Bogdan bettors out there, but I'm going Ryan Spann by sub and just moving on. Let's go with you, 2 cents or Lou? Lou.
I'm betting on Bogdan. And I did the show with VB today, and VB is all over Spann, and I'm doing the breakdown, and everything I give Spann is the advantage. He's got a reach advantage. So Bogdan's not going to really be able to land like an uppercut from a couple of feet away. Clear grappling advantage for Spann. It's not even close.
No.
All the physical tools, better kicks, chokes, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I fully know all of these things are in favor of Ryan Spann. And he's still going to lose because Ryan Spann, when one thing doesn't go right, and it doesn't even have to be Guskov doing anything. You said you watched the Anthony Smith fight. The more depressing one's the Johnny Walker fight, where like everything's going his way. Everything he's throwing is landing and hurting Walker, and he gets him on the ground. And he just like falls over Walker on the ground.
Yes.
Walker like lifts his arm, and he somehow, it wasn't even a reversal. He like lifted his arm, and Spann's going for like a reverse triangle.
It's not the first time Spann's fucked up either. It's not like it's the first time he's fucked up. He finds ways. Nikita Krylov, another great example.
Yeah, and Walker just like lands on top of him. And like that's it. And it's like, so on a card like this, why can't like this freak hit some meme thing against Spann? He reacts poorly. And like that's the end of it. And to finish and make you more depressed, if there's like a 50-50 chance, and I think there is, that Alex Perez pulls a stunt, this is the main event.
Oh my God, I didn't think about that. No!
This is your main event. Dude, I forget the fight that happened where it ended up being Kuriyaba, and I'm always confusing these two. Was it Nchukwu and Kuriyaba?
Yeah.
And that ended up being the main event during the card, or like
yeah.
and you're like, how the fuck is this a main event on a card? Any card? How is the Louis Spivak card? That's right.
Yep, nice job.
And then you're like, this is the fucking, and like, of course, that fight was like 90% on the DraftKings. Somebody's like, okay, well, I'm done. Yeah. And then you're like, awesome. I think this fight is going to end up being the main event if Perez pulls a stunt. And then, you know, then this is why people make fun of us for watching fights.
So we're closer. So we're closer to Bogdan pay-per-view points, is what you're telling me.
I mean, if Bogdan wins,
he's box office, baby.
But if he wins, he's ranked. He's taken Span's ranking.
Give him Dom Reyes.
You can't. Well, give him Anthony Smith. How do you not at this point? Like,
oh my god!
Don't you have to give him Anthony Smith next?
That's got a headline Apex card,
dude. Let them both wear like masks so that we don't know which one is which. Would be the most hilarious, awesome. Put it on the NXT card in July that they're gonna do. I'm here for like just put them both in masks and we don't know who went. Give them the same color gloves, and like I mean, let's have fun with it. If that's gonna be a fight, literally, who would you put Guskov on against if he wins? What's Anthony Smith's ranking?
I don't know. I don't think he's ranked. Yeah, Nora. Anthony Smith wants Pereira next.
Is he? I don't know if he's ranked.
He can't be ranked. 2 cents. Who's your side on this shit fight?
God, I really am trying to keep myself from betting Ryan Spann, but it is just like I'm just slipping further and further down into this pit where it's just like forcing my hand. I think Spann is going to fucking kill this dude. I think this is like this is one of the more popular dogs this week. If you look back at Spann's record, there are plenty of things you can point to. We're like, oh, he lost to this dude. Oh, Bogdan's going to knock him out. Oh, and I think, you know, he did this, that, and the third to Zach. Dude, Zach Pagua is not a UFC level fighter. There is like virtually no threat from Pagua on the feet, but surprisingly, he kind of wobbled Bogdan a little bit. Go back and watch the last time that Bogdan, well, it might be the only time he's got knocked out, but go watch that. He got fucking face planted by some no-name. He might be Russian, Central Asian, something. Like, the dude fucked him up bad. I don't think he has a good chin. Vulcan rocked him. Like, yeah, Spann is untrustworthy. So, like, I might keep that in the back of my head to, like, prevent myself from parlaying him. But if I'm honest, I think he's going to fucking destroy this dude. I think it's going to be Ryan Spann by fucking Kryptonian power. He's just going to Superman punch the Christ out of him. I think Bogdan is, like, he's okay, but like, dude, Pagua is so awful. Like, nah, I don't think this is the dude. What's Bogdan's best win? Is it Zach Pagua? Oh
yes.
Yes. Jesus Christ. No, Spann's gonna fucking murder this motherfucker.
So let me ask you this. I'm my fifth leg, Kareem Silva or Ryan Spann?
Do you ever do props?
Not for the
I mean, dude, I flipped the coin on the other one, so I got to say Spann for me. But
what do you think?
That's my vote.
What do you think, Lou?
I mean, Spann, honestly,
more reliable, right?
Dude, honestly, he should be minus 400 here. Like, I know he should be. Like, yeah. Everything 2 cents said is 100% correct.
Yeah. All right.
Every way you cap this fight, it's Spann. I'm having a problem clicking the button because I'm like, fuck, it's Ryan Spann. Like I can't.
Dude, it's because, you know what I think it is? It's because people expect a lot from, he's got talent and he's got these like flashes of brilliance. Like even in like the Johnny Walker fight, he was winning that fight to me. But like, yeah, I don't think unless you go back further in his career, recently, Bogdan to me just isn't on the level of the dudes that are beating him. He's not even a Krylov to me, or Krylov, whatever. Like, he's not Anthony Smith. I know he looks like him, and I know that's been a funny like, I just roided Anthony Smith. Like, he's not Anthony Smith. Not even fucking close. Like that's, and I hate Anthony Smith. I'm one of the biggest Anthony Smith haters. I cannot stand the motherfucker, but he is not on Anthony Smith's level.
You bet Anthony Smith in his last fight.
He is not on Anthony Smith's level.
No,
yet all those things are true.
I mean, Span is 45 cents more expensive than Pauga was, which is like it's crazy to think that he's not much a bigger favorite than fucking Zach Pauga.
Yeah, that does make sense. I made the change. I did remove Silva from the Zhongli. Span has been put in the Zhongli as a fifth leg, so we'll go over the Zhongli after we talk about this future canceled fight. I want nothing to do with this fight at all. I don't want anything to do with betting it. I get people want to be like, the under 4.5 is the way to go. The over 4.5 is the way to go. Blah, 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 blah. I'm so proud of everybody for knowing the way that they want to bet this fight. Matheus Nicolau is just a very, very boring fighter. He fights worse in a smaller octagon for sure, where he can't just kind of be on his bike, throw 2 shots, and then run around, throw 2 shots, run around. Alex Perez is the one who can wrestle of the two of these guys, but he's been very unreliable in making it to the scale. When he does make it to the scale, he's not very good at winning, as you can see in his last 3. He does have the power and the finishing equity of the two of these guys. I just don't think Nicolau is very good. I'm not betting any money on this fight. This fight, I don't want anything to do with. It seems like Nicolau should go in there and win the fight, right? But Alex Perez could win. Who cares? I'll say Nicolau by decision. I do not care about this fight. 2 cents give me a reason to care.
I can't do it, brother. I won't do it. Nah. I can't in good conscience because everything you said was just fucking church on Sunday. So, yeah, I can't do it. Pass. If I thought the coin would work on a fight like this, I would flip it. I'm going to pick Nicolau just because that was my first instinct, but I have nothing on it, and it's kind of a sketchy pick because you can make a case that, like, I don't know, Nicolau really isn't on the level of the dudes that have beat Perez recently in the UFC. Like, but, I mean, he does have some good wins. He stylistically, like, I don't like Nicolau's chin, but Perez does like to get fucking choked. I think Nicolau is probably the better grappler, but I don't know. It's just too sketchy. I could see Perez like chinning him. I could see Perez getting choked. I want nothing to fucking do with it. Give me Nicolau. Something decision. Like, I will say this. Alex Perez does not fare well in decisions, and Nicolau has won like 5 of them. So I think if anyone does win on the cards, it's Matheus or Matheus, whatever. But yeah, it's sketchy, man. Like, shitty main event. I don't fucking care. I'm not betting it. Give me Nicolau by something, though.
It's very unlikely I'll be watching this by the time it comes on the main event. I might watch the co-main event, but by the time the main event comes on, I'm going to be watching the Vegas Knights or something. But Lou, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Perez here.
Okay.
I mean, look, this whole, like, he's lost his last 3 fights. Like, he looked all right against Machado for a guy that hadn't fought in forever.
Right.
Losing to Pantoja, there's really no shame in that. Losing to Figueiredo when he was like at his peak at this weight. Again, not like, I mean, it's not great looks losing in the first round, but like they're forgivable. Formiga one was good. The problem I have with any kind of bet on Nicolau as a favorite, I don't think anybody's getting takedowns here. Perez's takedown defense is pretty good. Nicolau's is excellent. And if it's on the feet, just round after round, Nicolau's optics are so bad. They're terrible. Again, low volume, does nothing. I mean, Perez is not a guy who's getting knocked down on the feet. Perez is a guy who makes mistakes, gets on the ground, and gets submitted. So I think the optics are going to favor Alex Perez, especially early in the fight, the first couple of rounds. I mean, dude, his optics looked great in the 3rd round against Chimaev. Chimaev's optics he was ready to die. So I just think that Perez can probably steal rounds. by throwing more and maybe landing 1 or 2 strikes around. If it's going to be those thin margins, man, give me Perez. And this is like a Perez split decision kind of feel for me. But
yeah, I think this fight ending in split is very likely.
And I'm going to bet it because like it's on. And I'm not going to bet. Like, I'd rather bet this than Dantel Mays and Kyle Machado. I can't do it. Except for Yambags, which is like a Vegas Dave 45 unit max whale play on that fight.
Yeah, fair enough. Just not a good main event. I don't like Nicolau, but that is the sign I'm on.
It's weird, man. Like, neither one of them are very high volume. Like, neither one of them have thrown 100 strikes in a fight before. And I don't know. To lose point, man, like, the guys that are doing this Pantoja and Figgy are absolutely excusable. Even Machado, like, Nicolau doesn't fight like that. He's not some, like, just dogged fucking wrestler, like Dagestani Sambo grappler. He's a jiu-jitsu. And I'll tell you what, if you are on Nicolau and it stays on the feet for extended periods, you are going to start sweating, my friend, because, yeah, his optics don't look good. Neither one of them throw very much, and Perez probably hits harder, and he's probably more durable, right? And he's got more experience, probably. So, yeah, I think it's Perez or pass. Like, I'm going to pick Nicolau just because I think I will disagree that I think that if it does hit the cards, I think Perez will make enough mistakes that Nicolau might steal the rounds. But if it's damage, then yeah, it'll probably go Perez. It's just so greasy, dude. I want nothing to do with it. But yeah, I think Perez is a super duper live dog.
I like the quick turnaround here too for Perez. I think it's like it keeps him like I think the problem with him is when he has all these delays, it's just he's got like mental. I think he's got like a mental issue just the weekend of fights. But I like this quick turnaround because nice third round against Machado, who's they're obviously promoting. So maybe he's taking something from that. There's no moral victory. There's no such thing as a moral victory, but certainly good momentum to win a round against Machado at the end, coming off the couch for so long. So we'll see.
So the only
winnable fight for Perez.
The only fight Perez has won by decision was Mark De La Rosa and Eric Shelton. Most other fights, he either gets the finish himself or gets finished. But it's a pretty high level of competition, especially the losses. Like, his worst loss is what, Joe B or Machado? So
fair enough. Now I'm thinking more about betting Perez than I was before the fight. I'm still not going to bet him. Getting to the Zhang Li, I feel strangely good about it. I don't know why after talking to you guys, but starting with, Don't Tail Mays is in the Zhang Li just because somebody has to be in there. So we'll know very early on if we're live or not. Figlac, Onama, Denise, and Ryan Spann is ending it off for a plus almost 1,500 plus 1,475 parlay. So not bad on a card like this. But that is a Zhang Li. Any final thoughts? What's coming up the rest of the week for you, Mr. 2 Cents? Thank you.
So first of all, I want to thank you as always for having me. This is a treat. And Lou, always good to see you. And everyone in the chat, best of luck to y'all. Make sure y'all smash the like button for Aaron. So tomorrow I am going to be with a gentleman on the Locker Room Talk podcast. New episode of that will be available tomorrow evening. And then I will be back with the pre-gaming on my channel Saturday. So I think it's going to be, I have it set for 1:30. So if y'all want to come through, I'll drop the link. Anyone I'm cool with, is welcome on panel. Come through, talk some shit before the fights. But yeah, that's my Saturday. And yeah, best of luck. And, what was the Zhang Li again? Was Dantel? I'm betting here right now. Dantel, Figlac. Who was the third leg? Onama,
Denise, Spann.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I will. If Spann is the one that busts it, I will fall on that grenade. Y'all can fucking blame me.
Yeah, especially if Silva comes through, then we're really gonna have to
Yes, but yeah, and that will be going against the coin, and one of my more confident picks. So yeah, I will get in front of that one.
Yep. And Lou, what do you got coming up the rest of the week? I know you just came from a show, probably going to another show.
Yeah, I don't care about this week. I care about next week.
Fair
On
enough.
top of my usual nonsense, I will be doing a video, breaking down the big event next Saturday. No, it's not UFC 301. It's Derby Day, bitches. The Kentucky Derby.
Let's
Next
go.
Saturday. Can Lou Betcha
Yes, sir.
continue the most legendary streak that he's ever had, because he never won races before? I hit all 3 legs of the Triple Crown last year. I already know what horse I like. I'm waiting for pole position. They're going to do the draw on Saturday. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to break down my process, who I like, what horses I tossed, and a betting approach. So hope y'all. I'll do that.
I might have to tune into that just to pass that info along to my my dad and my uncle. They get greasy.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to pre-record it.
Nice.
But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it Thursday morning next week. So I'll be able to promote it again here next week.
Dude,
Nice.
How many fucking mint juleps are you going to polish off? Over, under 7?
I'm not like a massive mint julep fan because I like my drinks to have only alcohol in them. Like, I don't need simple syrup. I don't need mint, but I'll live a little.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll already be 8 drinks in the bag before I start drinking mint juleps because I'm sure there's some soccer game at noon. I'm going to be like, I got to go out. Oh, the girlfriend is in charge of haberdashery for next week.
Excellent. So there will be a big special hat to wear for the show. Looking forward to that next week, Lou. Not looking forward to this card, but want to thank everybody in the chat. Want to thank Rama B / Solar Warden, Juan Cruz, Justin Villegas, Jimmy the Drunk, Stephen Gregory, Moist popped in there for a second. No Shute Zach. So shame on Shute Zach. Big shame on Shute Zach.
Zach, you fucker, you broke my heart.
Yeah, Jack Attack. You'll be watching in the morning, so hello there. Shout out to Noah, Nora Ashray, anybody else, Juan Cruz, all y'all, Justin Vegas. Appreciate you all, and we will be back next week. Have a good one. Peace out.